That doesn't work. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to some Space Engineers. We're surrounded by a green sphere, a green rectangle. So I've been reworking the gravity a little bit, messing around, playing with it. Our gravity that used to be used for our collection thing, I expanded as far as it would go to see if it would cover our station, and it doesn't. Although it does cover the walkways. So far, anyway. So we might need to add some more gravity around the station, and maybe that would be a better idea anyway. But I did some work down here. I reworked our little collection thing quite a bit, mainly just structurally. So I used heavy armor, and I added in basically everything below this line. So it used to be just this flat piece. I added in these little dangly bits, pointy bits. Their main purpose is just to physically redirect ores towards that one collector we have. So if I was coming up and there we could see some. Oh, are you too low? Oh, yeah, it looks like it's a little too low. To adjust this gravity a bit. Mobile base, gravity. Okay, so I added in a third gravity generator. And I actually relocated the spherical one a little bit. So I think it's that one. So let's change that to 11.5. Actually, I think they're both down here. Gravity. Station. Height. Let's go 115. Okay, that's better. So as long as it looks like this one has to come down a bit though. Let's go back into that. Gravity. Push. And we'll change that back to 12. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That's like right underneath. So yeah, anyway. So no matter where ores go, they should, for the most part. There might be some spots they can get stuck on. But they should, for the most part, bounce in and get collected. Energy low. Help! Somebody. Tortwing. Save me. Okay. So yes, there's that. What I would like to do, I want to add some more storage. And I think we'll expand our little buffer storage. I also want to get rid of these storages on top. I don't like where they are. It was more of a temporary means, so I think we're going to get rid of them. And we'll just use the buffer as an area to store the stuff that is currently storing until we figure out exactly where to put that. But I'd like to expand the conveyor tube all the way up and start working on the crane, I think. So getting anything that's in its way would be a good idea. And I hadn't planned on keeping those there anyway. So we should try to find a new home for them. For this buffer system, I think we're going to expand down. So we're going to take some more large cargoes and just bring this down. I'm not sure how far. Maybe like 3. We're going to rework our connector so that will be pushed out most likely so it still reaches out here. And maybe we'll relocate it down or to a different location altogether. But this is going to be the outer tube. So from this little collection thing, and I had these glass things just so you could look in. And if we look in there, you can see the gravity generators. So we have the linear one at the bottom and the spherical one. But I think ores are getting stuck in there currently, or they're able to. Oh, well, definitely able to right here. I didn't know this was open. They could also get in through here, but this armor on top was mainly just temporary. I didn't realize I left it open. What I want to do is this, probably. So it will slope up and then meet up with this, and then this will go straight up. So having that spherical grav gen, which is pulling this way, it won't be able to get in here, and instead would get redirected over here. Although currently the linear gravity should keep stuff off of the slanty roof. And hopefully get it collected down to there. Theoretically. Okay, well let's head in here. I have the lights on. Should help us see. So I messed around with these gravities. And what I wanted to do was use the linear gravities to basically beam this stuff straight up this hole. But it doesn't reach very far. It only reaches about halfway. So That won't work. It would kind of work. I wonder. I didn't try this. Okay. Let's try something. Alright, grav ball. I have a plan. Alright, so gravity, gravity. We're going to keep this the same. We're going to the linear one, which is this guy. We're going to increase its height to the maximum. Okay, so we have negative 0.25, and this guy we have 0.2. And why don't we go ahead and show on HUD so we can see what we're doing. Gravity, spherical, show on HUD. I was actually going to try what you guys had suggested with the pulsing thing, and we might still do that. But what I want to do... Okay, we have this field right here, which is our station. It doesn't need to be this far out. What I think we should do is shrink it down so that it is just basically at the edge of where this linear one reaches, which is right here. And this is the limit of our other gravity field, which is the one down there. So currently, this guy's dominating. So why don't we do that? Let's bring him right to us. Hopefully we can see it when it passes us. Gravity, spherical. So we want to bring down the radius until it passes us. Oh, there we can just barely see it. Okay, so it will do like that. 85, maybe? And then we want that to be stronger than everything again. So that should be okay, because the other one was 2 and then 2.5. But it's sending it in the same direction. So once stuff gets to here, it's pulled that way. Pulled that way. Okay, that should work, I think. So we got... Oh, wow, look at this. So we got these ores that are stuck here. And if we look, they do want to go to the GravGen. Oh, there we go. We just had to update them. So now they're going to go to the GravGen. So everything in here is going to be pulled towards the Gravity Gen all the time. And then it should, once it gets in here, it should get pushed up the tunnel, which it currently is. Yes. Now whether this will all happen fast enough, we're not sure. Let's go ahead and turn Molar on. Let's face him towards the asteroid. Okay. There we go. Go. Go, Molar, go. Is he moving? Barely. Now he'll get going. Good job. Oh yeah, okay, so that should move everything in here and then up the hole. And then once it gets far enough away and it meets up with the other spherical GravGen, which is stronger than this one, but because it's no longer going in... Oh, don't kill me. It's not going into the cavern. We don't really have to worry about it. So yeah, I think that will work. Otherwise, if we're still running into issues, we could do the pulsing thing. What I wanted to look at with that was if we could do it with timer blocks. So instead of adding a second spherical GravGen, if we could just incrementally increase the GravGen and then decrease it again. So use a timer block to increase it one step and then decrease it. I wanted to see what that was, actually. So let's see here. So like increase acceleration and decrease acceleration. So I was wondering if we could like pulse that on and then off. So what's it currently at again? It's at 0.2. So if we do it one step, it's at 0.1. Do it the other way. 0.2. Yeah, so we probably could have done it that if we had this one at 2 and the surface one at 2.5, and then we just increase it by 0.1, so it would go to 0.3, it would pull in, and we could have just alternated it with a timer block. So it would pull in, and then 5 seconds later, the timer block would increase it again, and then it would push out, and then pull in. So that could work, or could have worked. Still might work, if we need it. Molar, go faster. Molar, you really need a brain. You need a better brain, Molar. Your brain's defective. Alright, so we got programming, guys, which is pretty exciting stuff. Let's head to the surface with our 14 frames. We'll let Moeller go for his... He only runs 5 minutes at a time. Anytime I start him up, he starts up his own countdown timer. And what we could do is set up the grav ball to only go for 5 minutes as well and just manually turn it on. I don't know why we can hear Moeller's sensors from all the way this far away, but you can hear them turning on and off. Tick, 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 tick. God! Alright. So yeah, with programming, I don't program, guys, so I'm going to be limited on what I can do with it for the beginning. I'll probably have to rely on other people's programs and stuff. But I imagine what we could do with it eventually. We've got our whole like system that we talked about, separating all of our stuff. I still kind of want to do that. And I think... Here, I'll Crooked Star. I did see it. I just didn't bother to fix it. I'm sorry. Okay. So I still want to have all of our systems separated. And we might still put in some mechanical separations, such as these connectors. Moeller, just stop. Just stop. Okay? Yeah, so still want to maybe create physical stop gates with the connectors. But I imagine we could have a program, just one program that would run either on a loop or every once in a while, and it would basically organize our inventories for us. So we should be able to do what we want to do, and yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. So I don't think it'll change too much on how we're doing things for right now, and if we get a sorting program, then we could start using it probably sooner than we would have otherwise. So yeah, I didn't really go over this too much, but I think it's shaped in such a way that nothing should ever get stuck. And the idea is the connector's not exposed, so nothing should be able to hit the connector directly. So even if a asteroid or a little piece of rock ore went directly for the connector at full speed, it won't be able to hit it directly to damage it. I don't know if it would. And then someone mentioned we should add more collectors. I don't know if that is an issue. I've never seen ores get rejected because there's too many going in. Most of the time it's just because the ore doesn't hit the area. So if we had more of them, it would increase the chance of them hitting, but I kind of like this thing better. Just having a little mechanical thing that would funnel them in. And I have plans to expand this further. I would kind of like to get the whole thing mobile. At first I wanted to make it pivot as well. So we'd have a pivot point so this thing could tilt to maybe like a 45-degree angle or something in both directions, or rotate and tilt so that it could, yeah, it wouldn't have to be in line with the station. So we might still do that in the long run. So we might try to plan for that in this structure. I'm also not sure. I don't know if this is where we want this. We might want it to be lower or higher. But if we need to move things, I think what we'll end up doing is just breaking them, turn it into a ship, physically move it. Maybe we'll create a tug ship to move stuff around, and then position it where we want to and reconnect it. So if we ever build something we like, but we don't like exactly where it is, maybe we could just do that. Fly it around and relocate it instead of like tearing it down and rebuilding it. Okay, so our buffer, how are you doing? Full. Everything is full. Okay. Good. Is there still stuff coming in? That's probably good that we turned Moeller off. I don't know what happens to stuff if... Oh, look at that. Fail. There's a point. I was going to create slants on these, to be honest. I just never did, because I want to expand this outwards. So this isn't like the final edge. So I didn't want to put more armor down and not need it right away. Okay, but anyway. Yeah, nothing else is coming through. So that is good. That is good. Alright, Tortwing. Let's get some more storage going. We've got some cargo, so we'll get this next layer. Assuming he has enough to finish. Can you get both at the same time? Maybe? Uh-oh, we're awfully close to the welder. We are out of interior plates. What about for you? Did you at least have enough to do one of them? Nope. You are a failure. But we can complete this one, at least. Alright, so while we're doing that, let's remote into our station. And let's get some more stuff going. So we need... let's get 1,000. So what does each one of these take? 360. Okay, let's get more than 1,000. Let's get 2,000. Oh, and I'd run out of iron for a little while. And I had to... yeah, while I was building this, actually, ran out of iron. Refined and unrefined. So I had to take some out of molar, or I had to get a dedicated little trip for molar. Alright, well... oh, you got nothing. Let's get rid of this one. Although we don't want to park there anyway, because that's probably in our way. I do still want to make a repair bay for Tortwing. And someone mentioned like an adjustable way we could do it using like pistons and sensors, so that it wouldn't matter the size of the ship. You could just fly it into the repair bay and it would detect, the piston would extend just far enough to reach your ship to weld it, but wouldn't like smash through it. So we'd have the suggestion was to have like a ring basically of welders on pistons that could adjust. So that, I like that idea. I'm not sure if we could do it here though, because the idea here was he'd just have a little oven that he could be pulled into, but then it would only be specific to probably Tortwing, or maybe even Chip could fit in it, but it wouldn't be as adaptable as the suggestion that you had. So I like that one. So maybe we could do that somewhere else. Maybe we'll have a repair bay inside the station on one of these floors. So on all these extra floors we have, and I was trying to lay that out a little bit better. So on each of these floors we could have like one that's a repair bay. And since we'll probably have that being an entrance, if a ship needed to come in, it could fly up through here to the repair bay and get repaired. And maybe that would be a more thorough repair bay, and this would be just a quick and dirty one, just for little touch-ups specifically for Tortwing. But who knows? We could just use that maybe until we build that one. So have this one in place, but more as a temporary means. And then once we get that in place, we tear this down, maybe? Or relocate it? I don't know. Okay, well, we need to gravity toggle trigger now. So yeah, a lot of stuff. It'll be interesting. I like the programming. I think it's awesome. I mean, it's the first step of it, so I think things will improve. What I'd love to see is a more graphical interface that could be equivalent, or at least be able to do like basic stuff. Like, I know the logic of the things I would like to do, but the limitation I have is not knowing like the correct syntax or code or how to achieve what I want to do. Where visually you could usually just figure that stuff out. So like what I like about programming is we'll probably have access to more stuff. Like right now we're limited, like I could just do like we just showed, increase acceleration, and that moved it by 0.1, right? Where I imagine in programming you could just go set the block, that gravgen, or whatever gravgen is named this, set it to 0.25. And then you could have it set it to negative 3.4 or whatever. You could be more specific on what you want to do, I would think. And then also the same thing goes for like molar down there. I have a sensor triggering each gyro individually, and then certain thrusters that are just set to be on all the time, or on override all the time, and we just toggle them on and off. Where I imagine with the programming, you could have the sensor trigger a program that would set that gyro to tilt this way, and then you could maybe achieve the same thing with one gyro and just your main set of thrusters that you could change from being on override all the time, and just when you need them it switches them to override and sets the thrust to this amount, etc., etc. So I think that will open the door for that kind of stuff. What am I doing? Oh wait, no, let's fill up Tortwing. You need those. Man, he is full. And more there. Okay, that should give us enough to finish that thing though. So yeah, I really like what programming opens the door to. Right now it is kind of limited, or it's limited to people that are able to use it. But a lot of stuff could be fairly generic. So like a program for sorting, etc., you could set up to work on anybody's station. But there'd be certain things, like if we were to design something very specific, I couldn't really rely on someone else's program to operate that thing, because I would want it, I'd have a specific sequence of operations kind of thing, or specific order of operations. So I'd either have to get someone to write a specific program for what I want to achieve, or maybe rework existing programs, try to figure it out, or yeah. So I hope eventually, either through Keen or maybe through a mod, it will add some kind of graphical interface that would allow us to do some form of programming as well. Just maybe in a more limited manner, but it could be perfectly acceptable for basic functions. But if you want to get really advanced, then you could just type it up yourself. But we shall see. You got to start somewhere, and I think that's probably the easiest way to start, is just with something like that. So there's no point making a graphical interface for it right off the bat. You might as well wait till it's all fleshed out and working properly, and then you can look at doing that. So I would imagine that's the way we'll get it. If we do. Maybe we won't. Maybe it'll always just be typing. Ah. And we're out of interior plates. You failed me. Wow, don't kill me. So we should probably get sensors put on Tortwing here soon as well, before we die. I seem to be able to get a lot closer than I used to. Closer. I want to see something. Does it... Okay, it does. It repairs itself. Okay. Well, I didn't actually know it did that. So it is able to repair itself. So that is very, very interesting. Alright, Tortwing. We need more stuff. Alright, we'll leave him for a second. Let's see here. Gyro. This is not going to stay here, but I'm not sure exactly where I want it. I know I want it in the middle. And that's kind of why I want to get rid of these, I think I mentioned. So if we get rid of these, we can extend the conveyor system up. And then we can start working on our crane so that we can start reproducing this base layer, I think. Of course, once we do this base layer, we wouldn't be able to probably reach anything below this line with the crane anymore. But that'll be okay. So we should also look at getting crown molar here, so we could do some more mass welding at a time. So if I'm rebuilding stuff like that, instead of using him to help me weld it, which is pretty slow, we could use the crown molar. We should probably do that. So we should have to decide how we're going to bring crown molar into existence. So if we'll do like chip, where we built something, well, we just built a little M coupling, but that was what we justified, or I justified as being enough to bring in chip. Can we get off these gravities? We don't need them on the HUD anymore. There we go. So should we build something to build the crown molar? Try to do our linear kind of thing again with maybe just pistons and welders. So we'd build the crown molar from one edge to the other, like we tried to do with chip, but in a more organized way. Nope, there's some ores right there. That's okay. I'm wondering, yeah, I think this might need to be lower eventually. Because if this is the bottom of the ship. Oh yeah, let's look at this real fast before we go. What do we have? 3x3. Give me a 3x3. Inverted. Not sure which one we need. Let's grab some girders. Girder me, unless they're all on Tortwing. Girder. Nope. Grab some steel plates. Okay. So what I plan to do here is this will basically come down, and then I think we'll transition to the outside of the ship. So this pattern might continue like that or something underneath. So this will be the outer hull somewhere here. And this would also be linked into our our loading area. So it looks like that connector should really be a lot lower. So whether we could pull that off with this gravity being where it is, or if we'll need to detach the whole thing and move it down, we'll have to see. But I don't think that'll be a big deal if we have to do that. So yeah, I want to do something like that. And then we have our window. So let's see, that's glossy down. Okay, it won't connect there. Do we want... So we want that. Alright, let's get a block. I want to try something. I don't know what it's going to look like, though. This thing's 4 wide, so having a 3 wide window probably isn't the way to go. I also don't know what's our width this way. Would that be in the middle? Probably not. Probably not. So maybe we'll do like 3x2 windows. I'm not too sure. But anyway, let's just put that there. So that should be glossy side inwards. What happens if you put 2 windows back to back? So let's grab the other variant. So we have 3x3 invert, 3x3 flat. And then we do that. No. What is this one? Let me double check this. This one is glossy that way. Okay, I guess it would be the same window. So like that. And like that. Okay, so let's grab Tortwing. Pretty sure he has enough stuff in him to finish that. And I'll finish these cargoes after. But that will also allow me to run Molar a lot longer. I can create a bigger buffer. And then we'll have to increase our steel plate capacity or where am I going? Capabilities. Where am I going? It's like I'm heading nowhere. Just start flying away. Right above me. But yeah, we should increase that so when we need iron, we can get through it really quickly. So for that, we want to figure out where to put our arc furnaces. So that, again, might be in an area such as these for arc furnaces, or somewhere down here if we can still think of where to put them. Like there'll probably be some space here in the middle, so we could put some arc furnaces either in both locations, all 4 locations. I'm not sure, or just have one dedicated section. I kind of like the idea of having one dedicated area. Alright, why so slow? Let me help. Oh, you don't have enough glass. I really thought you did. Alright, let's go get some. Oh, fly by touch. Fly by smash. Try. Back up. Whoop. Closer. Bam. Okay. So we are out of glass. Not grass, idiot. Glass. Oh, we have a lot. Well, we have a lot in here. How much can we hold? Put it everywhere you can. And do we have enough girders? I didn't actually check. Let's take some more. 42? Sure. Which way? Back this way. Alright. But yeah, so this is kind of what I was thinking for the glass. We might not have to have them right next to each other. Or it might not be a good idea to have them right next to each other like this. I was also thinking it would be like extra strong. So it's like double thick glass. But yeah, I don't know what it looks like when you have 2. Like, does it cancel out, or does it just... I guess it's no different than looking at glass through a glass. The distance between them probably doesn't matter. Ah! But yeah, I guess the goal would be to have shiny on both sides. Which that is, I think. I'd probably have to put another one without that to see the difference. Okay, so that works, except this is the middle of the ship, by the looks of it. So, yeah, 3x3 windows wouldn't work, unless we put the 3x3 windows centered here, and we have a border of some kind there. Or even just slope it down 1 more block, and then put the glass. Oops, So that would go throughout this strip. Maybe not all the way. Up to that door, at least. And we'd have that going all directions again. And then maybe we'd have... It would probably stop somewhere around here. So, let's see here. Oops. So it'd stop... Crown molar. If you were here today, and your coupling connector was here, you would stick out... Wow, quite far, actually. Probably all the way to here. So we probably don't want this to go any further, because this will be our loading bay underneath here. Probably. Maybe not that low. So this, you'd enter into the loading bay from underneath this bottom edge of the ship. So that would come back here. So within this area down here is where I want Crown Molar to come and restock or change its tools and stuff like that. Okay. Well, now we're just yakking, guys. Well, we did some more planning. We looked at some things. Got our gravity, I think, sorted out for the time being. I think that'll work. So everything should get collected for the most part. I'll double check and look for areas where stuff can get stuck. But I don't think we need to do the pulsing thing anymore. But if we do, we can definitely relook at it in the future. Alright, everybody. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.